All right. And welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. Woo! So glad to be here. We're gonna get started. We're here and we are ready to go. As you all come in, please like and share as you come in. Spread the word. We got 60 minutes of power impacted information, and this is an open panel. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything like that, feel free, and then we will stop and we will address them. And so, without further ado, we're going to start with our first panelist on today. All right, the first panelist for today, her name is Miss Shay Sam. You gonna say something, Shay?
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Shay and my bills are paid out good, and my family's good.
Yes, so can you tell us a little bit about you?
I got a good job, I'm good, and my bills are paid out good. I got food on the table, I know that he's able. Thank God I'm good.
See, I just got promoted to CEO of Beyond Event.
Thank God I'm good.
All right. You know what? We're gonna move on to that, but we want you to hear a little bit of her music as an artist, Miss Shay Sam. Just a little bit of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You are magnificent, great. Your feeling is hate when we're ignorant grace. So intimate place, your heart of innocence make a life different break. This whole sin and the sinning, could the enemy hate? You are the sun, stars, and the moon. You are the beam of light when it's dark in the room. When I depart from the womb, you're the air that I breathe. Always there when I need you, preparing for peace. You're so good.
I got a good job, I'm good, and my bills are paid out good, and my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good, and my bills are paid out good. I got food on the table, I know that he's able. Thank God I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good, and my bills are paid out good, and my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm.
All right, as y'all can see that she's good. She is good. All right, so this is some of her profile pics as an artist. Shay, can you continue to tell them a little bit more about Beyond the Fence, and then we're going to move on into your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. So Beyond the Fence is all about, now I am not the founder, so we would have to get the founder to talk about it a little bit, but I can tell you from my perspective, we are a group of artists that are very versatile, very diverse. We trend from inspirational hip hop to praise and worship, and neo soul, comedians, actors, film directors, producers. So we are a plethora of just talent, a plethora of talent. So we call ourselves a one-stop shop. Whenever someone's looking to do anything in the entertainment world, we always say just reach into Beyond the Fence, and we don't have to reach out to like 5 or 6 different people to make what you do work.
All right. Okay, this is awesome. So we have our marketing specialist here right now, and she is going to introduce the topic that she's going to talk on for the next 10 minutes.
All right, so I'm going to be speaking about branding and promoting, which is one of the essential elements of any business. We're talking about inspirational or independent artistry today, so I'm going to specifically talk about branding and promoting for artists. So branding is very important. You do have to know who you are. It's important for your audience to know who you are because you're selling your audience a product. Whether you know it or not, you are the product. So it's very important for us to know that branding is one of the things that we should automatically know as a default. Your branding is your logo. Some people don't know that. Did you guys know that? Some people didn't know that your logo or anything that you have to show your audience as a part of who you are is important. I give the example all the time about Targets and Walmarts. We know who they are without knowing, they don't have to say who they are.
That's
we just
right.
see their brand and we know that's who they are. Mm-hmm. Beyond the Fence is a brand. So when you put something up, they know our logo. They know that that's Beyond the Fence. So one of the key elements is just to know who you are. Your brand establishes your purpose to your audience.
Okay. All right.
Bullet point number 2, there's a difference between branding and promoting. Branding identifies your purpose. It does. Branding is important. It really identifies your purpose. Not only does it identify who you are, but people should be able to see it. I always say State Farm. They do a little jingle without saying a word.
That's
you
right.
know who they are. If lights were off, you have blindfolds on. If you heard it, you'll know exactly who it is. So establish that for yourself. It's very important to establish it. That's kind of like business 101, though. I talk to people all day, every day about starting their businesses up. And it amazes me how many people don't identify with the fact that you need to have a logo to establish who you are. You see those little car decals on the cars that when you drive by, why are they there? Because people want to be identified by their brand. And the next one is promoting visually puts you and your product in front of your audience. So, promoting is essential. We have so many different platforms now where we can promote, like social media. I'm going to use just social media, but so many people promote ineffectively and incorrectly.
Right.
Just because you put a picture up or just because you put a group of words up does not mean that you are promoting effectively. And then sometimes what happens is you feel, okay, well, I'm pushing my music or I'm pushing my promotions 4 or 5 different times a day. Do you realize that there's a time of day that you should be promoting? Did you realize there are analytics on the back of all social media handles where you can actually look to see who your audience are, who the age ranges of the audience, what city, state, or country they're in? And so without knowing how to identify that, you are sorely, sorely, sorely not doing yourself a credit, or you're doing yourself a discredit because you're not doing anything properly on the social media site. So promoting visually, it should lead you to, I'm going to say the Bible says you should know by their fruit. It should be able to put you in a fruitful position. You should be able to see the results of that. So what, you might get 34 likes on one, but you know what? You don't know from the insights that you have. There's such thing as insights on the back of the analytics. 483 people might have looked at that. You only see 34 people who viewed it or liked it. That's important. So you might not see it on the front end, but understanding the insights, understanding how to promote visually will help you to really push your business forward. So there's social media, there's magazines, bloggers, radio personalities that will help to push what you're doing. Commercials. I mean, people don't think about investing in commercials for radio. But that's another avenue for you to push. So that's outside of visually, that's audio. But start investing in your promotions visually so people can actually identify with who you are.
I love it. I love it. Those that are watching, the viewing audience, does anybody have any questions right now pertaining to what Shay just talked about as far as marketing yourself, your logo, your branding? Is there anyone that have any questions? Because she's here to answer them during her time frame. Any questions at all? There's something that you said that there's a particular time during the day that is best to brand yourself, to advertise yourself.
Yeah.
Can you expound on that just a little bit more?
Yes, ma'am. It depends on what kind of business you have. So I'm going to say again, we're speaking to independent artists. So, music is essential. So we can market our music throughout the course of the day. But if you look at your insights, 9 a.m. is probably one of the better times in the morning to do that. Why? Because people are getting ready for work. People have time to go on social media. They're looking at their social media, but it will give you that time span between 9 and 10. Another time frame would be lunch hour. People are going on lunch and people want to see what's going on. Look at yourself when you're doing social media. When do you go on? Another good time would be around 4 or 5-ish. That's 5 o'clock hour. So people are getting off of work and the first thing they do is look at social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. And then before you go to bed, some people don't know this, but some people try to do it 5, 6, 7, 8. Every hour I'm going to do something. But you know what? It's like at 10 o'clock at night where I'm just chilling out. Right. I should be watching TV. I could be watching my cooking channels, but I am scrolling the internet on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. So people are identifying with who we are around those time frames.
I love it. I love it. You also mentioned something about analytics. And if you're not familiar with the analytics, Shay said something that is very, very, very important. If you notice that when you're posting something, or if you're going live, it may say that your live video reached 290 people. But like again, to go back on reflect on what Shay said, it may, the people that liked it and or whatever or commented on it, it may say 34, but your live reached 290 people.
Yeah.
That's that underlying, which means that that's successful.
Yeah, that is.
You want to expound on that?
Well, yeah, because the thing is once you identify with your analytics and you understand, I think with any business, you feel more successful when you're able to touch people. That's all we really want to do. You want to be able to touch people. It's unfortunate that you can't get people to like a post. You can't get people to share a post, but people are watching. People are watching. So in every social handle, there's what you call an insight. And for those of you who don't know where to find that, just scroll to your settings or scroll to someplace on the Instagram or Facebook and just look for the word insight. We scroll past it all the time because we don't realize how beneficial it is to us. When you go into that insight page, it's going to show you your demographics. The demographics will show you who you need to market to. You'll be able to identify the states. You'll be able to identify the countries. When you do that, that's how you set up your promotion. That's exactly how you set that promotion up. So when you do it, understand how important it is, but understanding your audience is going to be key success to your ministry.
I love it. I love it. We're going to give a few minutes to see if anyone has any questions. Do you have any questions, viewers? It doesn't matter how big the question, how small you may think it is. There's no big, there's no small. But if there's any questions, and as I stated yesterday on my live, when I was inviting you in, even if we may not have the answer for you right now, we will research it and we will get back to you with it. So I'm looking on my page. We're all looking on our separate pages to see are there any questions. And listen, even towards the end of after each person speaks, if you have a question, we're going to take out time to expound on whatever question that you have. So Shay says her time is almost up, but this was a plethora of wealth of knowledge that she just shared. And again, each of us have 10 minutes. But in 10 minutes, if you get a chance to look back on this video, so you can, revisit everything, every topic that was talked about or expounded on this evening. And if you can start, if you're not already doing it, because I don't want to assume that you're not. Yeah. But if you choose to use it towards, you going, getting closer to your goal as an indie artist or whatever. Yeah. And here we go. Excuse me. But whatever information that you're getting on this evening, our goal is that it gets you closer to becoming the mainstream artist in whatever field you're going into, whatever field that it draws you closer to your goal. So, Ms. Jason, do you want to say anything else before your time is up?
No, you can. If you want more information, definitely make sure that you reach into Shanrae. Because that's going to be that's going to be beneficial to you guys. Always connect with us, www.beyondthefence.org. It's right there on the promo, but www.beyondthefence.org to answer any questions. And we also, like you said, are artists and media specialists, so we'll be able to help you get to that next level if you are interested in further getting more knowledge or information.
Thank you so much, Shay, for you giving of yourself, your a wealth of knowledge on this evening. Thank you again. If you all have any questions concerning each topic that we're doing, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. We are watching and we're here to answer them for you. And so, without further ado, we are going to move on to our next panelist on this evening, Mr. Dupree Owens.
Yeah!
Let me tell you something. When you can cheer your own self on, oh my God. So this is you want to tell them about what's playing?
All right, so what's playing right now?
Stop for me. I still believe that he rose from the dead for me. I still believe that he's coming back again for me. I still believe, I still believe, I still believe. Yeah, I still believe. 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 I still believe.
All right. Okay.
All right, so that track was playing because at the end I did like a little rhyme, but I couldn't get to it. But yeah, so my name is Dupree Owens. I am a musician. I am a writer. I am a producer. I wear many hats, what I do. People started calling me the one-man bandit. There's a reason why, and I'm going to explain towards the end. But I'm here to talk about being self-sufficient in what you do as far as the music game, being self-sufficient. And I'm going to explain the artists that I've worked with. A lot of artists that I've worked with and collaborated with, Arthur Robert Rowland, Earl White. I've worked with Aaron, Billy Valentine. I've worked with Angel Starr. I've worked with my wife, Shanrae Price. Yay! You know, I've done a lot of things. I'm working with EC Frost right now. We're putting out a project together. So I'm doing different things and, you know, basically just being self-sufficient. So I'm going to explain, I'm going to make 3 points. I'm going to explain the definition of self-sufficient. I'm going to give an example of it. I'm going to tell y'all why to be self-sufficient in what you're doing. So the definition of being self-sufficient, according to the Webster Dictionary, definition of being self-sufficient is able to maintain oneself or itself without outside aid. Capable of providing for one's own needs, meaning having the ability and the resources to take care of yourself without any help. So basically, being self-sufficient is pretty much doing stuff on your own, without any help on outside sources, without anybody having to help you. Like, let me give you an example. Let me go to my examples right quick. Just a little bit, about a month ago, we decided to, instead of going out buying our own tomatoes, we actually started growing our own tomatoes. So they are fresher, but it takes a little work. But we chose to be self-sufficient in trying to grow our own tomatoes because we just, you know, sometimes I want a tomato right here. I don't feel like going to the store. I can go outside, just grab my own tomato. That's dope. So, or you can even create ways like, I got laid off one year, and what I did was, instead of sitting back and waiting for my unemployment to hit, right, I created ways to make cash, to get stuff going so we wouldn't go lacking, rather than waiting for, that's being self-sufficient. Another example is, like you got a parent that does everything for you. Sometimes that ain't good. You know what I'm saying? They do everything for your child, and then they start doing it. They still doing it when you're a teenager. Then they still doing it when you're an adult. Yeah. Then when you get time to get on your own, then you're all messed up because you were never self-sufficient from the get-go. They didn't teach you to be self-sufficient. So those are good examples that I use to be self-sufficient. And I'm going to tell y'all why you need to be self-sufficient. Let me give you an example. I chose, let me see, we were doing a song called, it's up there right now actually, Seasons. We was working on a song called Seasons with my boy Earl White, working on that song, right? So I was like, okay, it's a Christmas song. Okay, we're gonna put it out there because it's a Christmas song. Everybody knows during Christmas time it's kind of iffy. You know, a lot of people support it, but some people don't because it's Christmas time. Everybody out buying gifts, stuff like that. So Christmas songs, like, okay, you're really putting them out just to promote yourself and putting them out there. Sometimes you lose money. So you're putting it out there, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, if I hire somebody to do my video for me, that's going to cost me. So let me take that money and put it somewhere else. Maybe I could do my own video, you know? So I got the tools to do my own video. We went out, bought a camera, bought a good enough camera to do one. I'm not an expert. So what I did was I hopped on YouTube and tried to learn what program I could use to make my own video. I forgot what the program it was, but anyway, it was a good program, free. I didn't pay for it. It was free, and I was able to do my own video. I thought about it, okay, where can I go without permission to maybe shoot a video? We went by the railroad track, something like that. So I just thought about something that we could do, maybe shoot this video and do it myself without having to pay someone. Okay, so now if you're looking now, you see the album cover. Who do you think took that picture? So I went and researched I looked on YouTube, how to take pictures. I called a friend of mine that take pictures. One of my best friends, this is what he do. So I called him like, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take a picture. What things I need to look for. You know, instead of getting somebody, I could save that money. Yeah. I could save that money and save time. So if you do stuff yourself, you can save money, save time. And how you do stuff yourself, you just research. You research what to do and how to do it. You do it yourself. Now, I'm not an expert on my video, but if you look I wish I had the video to pull it up a little bit. But if you had one thing I don't like about the video is I had to do it in the dark and I didn't know how to get lighting and stuff I didn't know how to do it. But if you look at the video, it's like, okay, I understand why he did that. So you can see, because there's Christmas lights in the video. So you can see the Christmas lights. So a lot of stuff I didn't do perfect, but I did it. So now going to my name, they started calling me the one-man bandit because I learned my craft. I learned as a musician to not only to play, I started out playing drums, but I was like, okay, this can't be it. This can't be, I can do something else. So then, okay, my dad plays guitar and bass. Let me learn how to play the bass. So I can use it later on. So I learned how to play the bass. Got with my wife. I started playing keyboard later on. So I got my wife. I got tired of going to programs and nobody knew how to play bass. So I learned how to play the bass. And then from there, I just started tinkling. And after a while, I got better at my craft. And so now, when I do my music, I'm self-sufficient because I really don't have to go out and hire a bass player unless I just want another sound. I don't have to go out and hire another keyboardist unless I just want a different type of sound. I don't have to if you listen to No Boundaries, I did everything myself except the guitar. I played the drums myself, I played the bass myself, I played the keys myself. Arthur Robin Rowland added the guitars and the horn parts. So I had to outsource on that. But that's something I just couldn't do. But everything else, I pretty much did myself. So talking about being self-sufficient, you start from the beginning. Start by doing your research. You will save time. You will save money. You can do it. Number one thing, you have to totally believe in your craft. Mm-hmm. You have to believe in what you're doing. Sometimes, a lot of artists, we're independent. Independent artists have to do their own thing. Yeah. We don't have the backing to do certain things. So if you're spending out your money, if you got the money to do it, that's cool. And if you got to do certain things, you got to do them. You know, like we just did a video, but I tried to do a video, but we had to outsource it. I wasn't going to do it. Because I know my limitations. So, but I use my money elsewhere. Where I saved money was I did most of the stuff myself. And there's something that counted, which we needed that video to be dope. I had to outsource it because we certain things we want to do. So you have to do certain things yourself. I can use another example. My wife got a lot of platforms. A lot. Even this one, she's starting right now. I'm sorry. Even this one we starting right now, she got a lot of platforms, right? So we're learning how to be self-sufficient, learning how to hook up the computer, learning how to get the thing to work, learning how to join 2 programs at the same time. You know, learning. I just had an audio problem right before this thing started. I went on YouTube right quick, like, what am I doing wrong? It couldn't tell me. So I kept digging, kept kicking, and all of a sudden the audio picked up. As y'all can see, I'm still tinkling with it, trying to get it to work. But it don't matter because we're being self-sufficient. So in my conclusion, if you want to help yourself out in the long run, just help yourself out. It's okay to dig into yourself. I see people making videos, and sometimes people overdo it. They're making videos and they really shouldn't be making. Sometimes it can hurt you if you don't really know what you're doing. But if you're being self-sufficient, then you're being self-sufficient. You doing it. You 100% in your game. You 100% about your craft. So I can't knock you for that. If you making videos and they don't look great, but you still promoting yourself. You trying to be self-sufficient. You trying to, because you might can't afford somebody to make the video for you. So you're gonna make it happen. You might can't afford. There's apps out there. Shay probably know that. No, there's apps. You probably know this. There's apps out there you can use to record yourself. It's like a studio.
Yeah.
If you got an iPhone, you got GarageBand on your iPhone. So you can use that to record.
That's right.
That's what I show a lot of my artists to use, because during this COVID, I couldn't bring nobody here to record.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was I was like, oh, okay, you got an iPhone, get GarageBand, download it, make sure you're in just a decent room and record yourself singing and send it to me. That's what I do. You send it to me, I'm gonna make it sound good. Trust me, I'm gonna make it sound good. You know, so that's being self-sufficient. So in my conclusion, be self-sufficient. You can save money, save time, and you know you're going to be 100% into your craft. And if anybody got any questions on how to do it, where to do it, I told you, YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube got everything. If they don't have it, think about something and try to dig it up yourself. Try to research and dig it up yourself. That's all I do. Everything you see I'm doing on my music and stuff like that, everything you see Shanrae doing, she digging it up herself. She looking on YouTube, trying to dig it up. Everything Shay doing, she digging it up herself. Everything David doing, digging up themselves, trying to be self-sufficient. One-man band.
All right. So does anyone who's watching, do y'all have any questions geared towards Dupree before we move forward?
Y'all better have some questions for me.
I know. And thank you, because he really did give you a plethora of information and wisdom right now. And I know it actually may sound a little easier said than done. When he says to research everything, a lot of times researching something, you have to continue to dig to get exactly what you need for you. Because there is so much information out there, and so you have to just continue. It takes work researching. It takes work. It takes time. But I'm telling you, you as your own entrepreneur, you as your own artist, whichever area you in, it is worth it. Take out that time, because when you're working somebody else's job, you know, I'm a retired teacher, and I'm a counselor as well. When you work for somebody else, you got to give them that time in order for you to get paid. Well, you have to think of it the same way as you being your own, because you are your business, and you're being your own entrepreneur. You have to dedicate some time throughout the day to you and to your craft, whichever way, whether you are a producer, you're indie radio, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you're a comedian, it does not matter. You have to, and researching is education. You are self-educating yourself, and I am so grateful for Google and YouTube and all these other tools, because we're getting educated on the low. You know, a lot of times for free on the low. So we go on and take advantage of it. And this has been awesome. Does anybody have any questions at all concerning this last topic? Dupree talked about being self-sufficient. And even if you think of something a little bit later on, please drop it in the comments because we will come back and we will answer it to the best of our knowledge right now. Again, if there is anything that we don't know for sure, we will research it and we will get the answer to you because that's what this here platform is about. It's about educating all of the indies and us working towards getting to our goal. So without further ado, we're going to move on to our next artist and we're going to let you hear a little bit of his music. I love this song right here. Mr. David Benton. We want you to hear his music.
I want to fly so high.
First thing a king will do. That's why I'm focused on the king and the queen of you. Before you make a move, think it through. Too much blood on their hand, and we know who to link it to. The thing to do is wake up, see the truth. When they see loving you, that's when they see the proof. How you believe in God? You don't believe in you. The tree of life inside of you, let them see the fruits.
The fruits of your seeds is to achieve. All you need to do is you be true and believe. And the one that put air in your lungs to breathe, he'll fight for you and me like Rocky and Creed. And the blessings you receive won't come from true breeze. You just need to stay open, yep, Jermaine Copeland. But on that same token, these words that I spoken are to make you fly high and mine.
I gotta hear this again.
I want to fly so high.
I love it. Mr. David Benton, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Howdy. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, so I had to say it like they, they say the country. But yeah, I'm David Benton. I'm the founder of Beyond the Fence. And I'm, it's about more than music. Even though, I might say, well, the rapper, I don't really call myself a rapper. That's just the gift. But more as an artist thing, because when you're an artist, just like you have different, it puts you more broad. Because whether it's music, whether it's poetry, whether it's painting, artistry is just a great body of work. So that's really why I want to talk about that too. The more than music thing. But yes, I am David Benton. I do rap. I'm a radio host as well. On Beyond the Radio. And I'm crunk. Yeah, I'm also crunk.
Yeah.
Alright. So I want to start with more than music. Me as an artist myself, a lot of artists, especially independent artists, they reach out. And I've had artists that, I did 13 years in federal prison. That's what beyond the fence means. Because I was behind the fence, now I'm beyond it.
Right.
And we all got fences we're trying to go beyond.
Mm-hmm.
David's fence was Goliath.
Right, that's right.
Some people's fence may be drug addiction, alcoholism, but we all got fences we're trying to go beyond.
That's right.
Right? So now I'm beyond the fence because we all got fences that we imprison in our minds.
That's right.
So now when you go beyond that fence, that's when you become really more than a conqueror. Now, with that being said, me going beyond the fence means I had to have a vision. The vision didn't have nothing to do with music. It had something more to do with my identity. Because I had to realize that it's more than music. Before we start talking about marketing, branding, you personally, spiritually and mentally got to know who you are.
That's right.
You got to go beyond saying, because people have a bad habit of saying, okay, take my music, listen to it, and everybody, let's be real. All us independent artists, we all believe
our song is the next big hit.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I get emails, calls, texts, from Messenger, people I don't know at all. They'll troll my inbox, they'll troll my page, they'll troll my mail, my Gmail account, and that's the first thing they'll do. They say, man, listen to this, because you never heard nothing like this before. And the only thing I can say is, well, you haven't heard nothing like that before. Because when you're in the industry and you really start doing your homework, you will realize that it's a plethora of artists who does the same thing. They're branded just about the same way. We had a young lady that was in Memphis, Tennessee. Awesome soul, beautiful singer, teacher, teach music. She teaches, understand, print more than music. She teaches music for a living. The system paid her. She went to college, graduated, to do music. She was about to be an artist on Beyond the Fence, but what happened, the way she wanted to brand was 100% like another artist in Florida. And we had to tell her, they talk alike, they almost sing alike, their message is alike.
Their name was alike.
Their name was alike.
It was the same name.
It was the same name for real. She's snitching.
Oh, wow.
She just straight snitching. She just snitched on. Look, I ain't saying no names. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it goes.
But that's how far research needs to go.
That's how far researching needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bling, Beyond the Fence in the building. Shanrae Price in the building. But that's what we have to understand. So when you come in and you say, like, all right, we're more than music, you have to understand that the first, if all you think about is my next song, then you're going to be mixed up with all the other artists who's saying, well, this is my next song. And especially as a rapper. Especially as a rapper. There's like 2 trillion rappers and everybody think they're good. So if you sitting up here saying, okay, my song's the next hot song, this person say, my song's the next hot song, and this person and the other million people say their song is the next hot song, then you're not really being separated. You're not separating yourself. You're just in the pot. You just being mixed in with everybody else because you really think that, okay, once I make this song, then I'm going to just throw it in the pot and hopefully it'll go viral.
Right.
And then you mad at, especially independent artists, because this is what we're talking about, right? Independent artists, listen, I have friends who wonder how I make it to certain platforms. After 13 years in federal prison, I came home 5 years ago, and I started out as a man first. I started out focusing on family first. I had to set a foundation for David Benton first.
That's right.
And once I found out, how I could set a foundation for myself, then I realized that the artistry would make more sense. Because when you speak, when you rap or sing, it got to be according to your lifestyle versus just trying to make money off of it. Because a lot of us, we take our old hustle and try to make it a new hustle, and we just hustling and bustling everywhere. We trying to do this and we trying to do that, and we don't stay consistent as artists. So us as independent artists, you got to concentrate on who you are individually before the music. People expect you to be your lyrics because the reality is when you brand yourself or you have someone branded for you, once they put that market out there, they expect that from you.
That's right.
So I'm gonna talk about gangster rap. We know that they're not gangsters, but it's entertaining to people, the negativity. So the people, so these young men and these young women, they really don't understand their identity. They have an identity crisis So they put this music out there, but then tragically they really don't understand why they're not really growing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they're not confident in themselves. They're just trying to do what they see the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
They're not taking responsibility of who they are as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're focused on, okay, I'm gonna make this hot song once again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My next point. The artists, they should value their audience. They should add value to the audience. You see, all this new for me right now. Because I'm reading, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? This is new for me.
Right.
But at the same time, this came from my growth as well. But I'm confident in myself because at the end of the day, you guys are watching me here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm honest enough to say, all right, I'm reading this. The artist should add value to their audience. The reason you should add value to your audience is because when you come out with your music, people should know you without your music.
Mm-hmm.
People should know you without your music.
That's right.
If you notice, like somebody like 50 Cent. 50 Cent was rapping a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He got shot 9 times. Tragic. It's terrible. But we're nosy as people.
Yeah.
He lived to tell the story, so us as an audience, like, well, what is he talking about? That didn't have nothing to do with music. We were just being nosy, trying to say, okay, he stayed alive.
That's right.
He was Dr. Dre, he was Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he has to say.
Right.
Well, he has sold over 10 million copies. I don't know. So us as independent, we looking at them. That's the thing we need to look at as far as branding yourself and knowing your identity and saying, okay, like myself, David Benton, right? If you listen to my project, it's called Boys to Men. My cover have the American flag, but I have the power fist going through it, right? The power fist is going through it. It represents something more than music.
Keep talking.
Every morning around 8, 9 o'clock, I always give an encouraging word to say, go be great.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this. The reason I tell people to encourage people to go be great, because that's really who I am as a person who did 13 years in federal prison. So when I say go be great, I mean that literally. It don't have nothing to do with music. It has something to do with my heart.
That's right.
So I'm really trying to pour into the audience. So independent artists, you have to pour into your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know your audience. You got to have a target audience and say, okay, I'm going to stick to the script. I'm not 50 Cent. I'm not none of those guys, but I am David Benton, and I care for people. So when people started gravitating towards me as David Benton, then that's when the radio show opened up, Beyond the Radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's when other connections started coming. Like right now, I'm sweating because I'm not nervous. I'm passionate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I play sports back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all on the line, I used to whoop y'all out too. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
But this just comes from straight passion, and people want the realness. And when they see your passion for them, instead of saying just listen to this and walk off, they gotta have something to hold on to, and they follow you, not just your music.
Yes, they do.
So that's it. I mean, did I go over too much?
It's okay. Keep going.
Because I definitely get long with it. All right. So also, an artist should be able to bring in other streams of income, like merchandise. Last night, we have a clothing line called Better You Clothing, and like last night, we did songs, but we had to let people know that the songs wasn't as important as all of us together.
Right.
The union, the celebration of why we even here together to set a foundation as a family.
Right.
Once people seen that and seen who we were as people, they started purchasing the merchandise according to our character. And what we have, our clothing line is called Better You. We tell people to go be great. She tell people to walk out their purpose.
Right.
So we want people to be a better version of themselves every day. And when people start saying, oh man, they really are those type of people, guess what they do? Man, I just want to support what you're doing.
Yeah.
I just like what you stand for. I never knew me coming out my pocket to feed the homeless. I put it on Facebook because we needed donations. I can't afford to take care of the world.
Right.
But we as a family can. So me just giving contributions on Facebook to people because I care, people started pouring in to us. You know, so whether it's your shirts, you got to understand you have to sell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You are the brand. Like if you go to the store and you have Coca-Cola on the shelf, that's you. You're the Coke.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to sell that product and nobody never tastes it?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a good logo.
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have good commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things will bring strands of income. We do radio, and it's not even about the rap. We do radio, and it shows that we're prolific speakers. With that productivity of speaking, well, it led people like Shay Samuels to be on red carpets.
Right.
And they paid her.
Oh, yeah.
They paid her more than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the CEO beyond the fence first. Yeah. I got emotional. Don't do that. Don't be as emotional as I just did. But I'm saying, your merchandise, the way the strands of income used, if you notice Snoop Dogg, he came in as a rapper. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Yeah.
Snoop, Afro, had braids. But guess what he doing now?
Monster stupid.
Cooking. Lil Wayne got a little podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more than music.
Yes.
They use the industry. You got to use the industry for what it's worth. Use different strands of the industry and know how to work it.
That's right.
So that's really all I have to say.
Can you and I thank you so much, David. This is the first time we've met in person. And it's just been a pleasure just having you on this first panel here. And what he's can you please let the audience know how many units did you sell when you came out of prison of your music?
10,000.
Say it again.
I said 10,000.
Say it one more time for the Holy Ghost. 10,000. Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Self-sufficient.
He came out behind the fence, coming beyond the fence with his music and sold 10,000 units.
Yes, in real life.
This is why we're doing this panel, because it is possible. It is possible. Once you work yourself, you work your brand, like everyone is saying here, with everything in it. When you market yourself, and don't count out the small things. Please do not do that, like the Bible says. Don't despise the small beginnings. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't, because everything that you do counts, and it adds up. And when I said, when you blink and you look and you find out, oh my gosh, I have 20,000 views on YouTube with my music. I have so many listens or whatever on Spotify. And then if you listen, add your years up. Add them up with your music. Okay, in 3 years, 5,000 people, and this is realistic as an indie artist, but in 3 years, 5,000 people bought your single. That is a win.
Yes.
Everything we're doing is a win. And this is why we're having this panel, because it is possible.
Yes.
It is possible. Don't give up. If this is you know if you're called to do this, if this is what you're supposed to do, whether it's on a gospel level or a secular level. And I'm getting ready to move into my topic. But listen, my walk with Christ, it is what I am saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and I'm still pressing on. And I'm not perfect, but I'm pressing to be perfect. But I'm pure. Yeah. But if y'all notice, I'm not giving up my calling, but I'm transitioning a little bit because the Lord is the one that led me to put out this new single, this life song called I Try. Yes, it is being labeled R&B, something totally different from my album. My album is gospel. Long time coming is gospel, although it's a variety of all types of music. But this single, I Try, is R&B soul. It's R&B soul. The message is pure. The message is clean. It's pure. And however you're led to do this to get your message across as you're growing and you're branding yourself and you're working towards becoming mainstream artistry, listen, don't count out the small things. Please don't. Wherever you go, I don't care if it's two people sitting in the audience. You don't know who those two people are. You don't know who they impact. You don't know their pull that they have. Give it your all wherever. I don't care if it's two people or if it's 2 million people. And y'all, a lot of y'all know my story. I'm getting ready to move into me. This next artist here on the panel, her name is Shanrae Price. Shanrae Price has been in the music industry professionally for the last 30 years. I've worked with several mainstream artists such as Mariah Carey, Luther Vandross, P. Diddy, and the list goes on. But I have been singing and an artist my entire life, almost 50 years. Almost 50 years. Singing for audiences large, small, and indifferent. It does not matter. And I, at one point in my life, said that I was not going to do it because I felt like me being a plus size woman, I'm not what the people are looking for. Hey, big up to Lizzo. But before Lizzo, maybe I should, well, no, I'm going to say Lizzo because she does her. But before her, we had Martha Wash, we had the Weather Girls, we had all kinds of big madams that represented in the industry before Lizzo, including my sister Kelly Price. And even before Lizzo, I always tell people that know me and my family, the first Lizzo really and truly was my baby sister, Sakina Price. That was her. That's how she sang, and she wore things as a plus size woman. So there's nothing new up under the sun. It's just specific time for things to come out. So let me move it along. I think I need you to do this for me. Thank you. Okay, so my topic on today is what is my topic? I'm sorry,